Greetings, 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 peace, love, harmony, and light. This is Chief Kalanago with another video. How y'all feeling? Man, it's a beautiful day. Wagwan, what the deal is. First off, I just want to acknowledge the great spirit, the universal intelligence. I want to give thanks and honor to my ancestors, all those who came before me, my spiritual parents. I'm thankful. And I'm particularly thankful for just being that umbilical cord in the time of need when I do need some help, to reconnect. All right, so I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful that I'm able to be used as a vessel to just bring, positivity, words of enlightenment, hope, and vision to those who are seeking. All right, I have a great video for you today as usual. And we're going to get into this, all right? This video, what I'm going to do is, let me just share my screen real quick. I hope you guys had a beautiful sun rest and that your day is looking good thus far. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me share my screen. Share screen. And this video, this lesson, this lecture, whatever you call it, is brought to you by Original Tribal Wear, and the website is www.originaltribalwear.com. I am a strong advocate of supporting our own. So by all means, go to the site. That link will be in the description below where we could go support our sister, Miss Mohawk out of California. I'm talking about clothing, and the apparel is beautiful. You know what I mean? So she has other merchandise as well. So by all means, please go check it out. At some point, we got to stop just talking about it and start being about it. If we say we're going to support our own, well, let's support our own, right? So here we go. All right, www.originaltribalwear.com. Also by Simply Stoned. The website says it's expired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to our sister out there in Yasini, Sister Yasini. I'm going to reach out to her out there in Wisconsin so she could make sure that's taken care of. But she has, stones, jewelry, and hey, definitely check it out. So the site is www.simplystoned.webs.com. Okay, in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the chakra, the crown chakra, particularly the crown chakra. Now, I have done videos, exclusive videos about, chakras, from the root chakra to the crown chakra, but I'm going to focus on the crown chakra today. Okay, reason being is because I was doing some meditation last night, and that's what came to my spirit. In this, I guess in this time, a lot of people, are seeking, and a lot of people are talking about, spirituality. A lot of people are talking about higher frequencies and vibrating on a higher frequency. And I just thought that it would be a great addition to, your life, knowing that information for those of you who didn't know that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the crown chakra here. And let's do a little reading. This information, it's a site that I had bookmarked, for a while, but it's www.chakras.info. All right, and you could the link for that site will be in the description below. Okay, and this was last updated April 9th, 2020. The crown chakra. All right, the crown chakra is the seventh chakra, located at the top of the head. It gives us access to higher states of consciousness as we open to what is beyond our personal preoccupations and visions. The function of the crown chakra is driven by consciousness and gets us in touch with the universal. All right, so let's kind of read that paragraph again, and I'm going to kind of like expound on that if I may. All right, the crown chakra is the seventh chakra. Okay, so we have 7 physical chakras or chakras that's attached to the physical being. All right, you have from the root chakra, which is the first chakra, which is the root chakra, and you have the seventh chakra, which is the crown chakra. Okay, just so you know, the concept of so as above, so is below. That means if you have 7 chakras within this realm, then there are 7 other chakras in the mental or the so-called spiritual or the heavenly realm. Okay, so just so you know. Now, it's located at the top of the head. It gives us access to the highest state of consciousness as we open to what is beyond our personal preoccupations and visions. Okay, now when you hear the allegorical Bible speak of, those who have eyes, let them see, and ears, let them hear, you may say, well, how, I thought everybody have ears and eyes and they could see, except for the blind or the deaf. Well, that's kind of what it means. It's a parable where, yes, the majority of people have eyes, physical eyes and physical ears. So yes, they are supposed to hear or see, but they're talking about from a mental or a spiritual or a heavenly realm where you are able to tap, into your crown chakra and have those visions and hear things that you may not hear physically. Okay, so that's what it means. Those who have eyes, let them see, and ears, let them hear. They're talking about a higher sense of hearing and seeing, where we're dealing with vision and insight and not just outsight, okay, meaning that physical sight. All right, the function of the crown chakra is driven by consciousness, whether it may be your conscious mind or your subconscious mind. It deals with consciousness and it gets us in touch with universal. Okay, the universal means the collective. All right, the crown chakra, meaning the 7th chakra, is referred to as the crown chakra, the Sahasrara, the Sunya, or the Nira Lamba Puri. Okay, the Sanskrit name Sahasrara is sometimes used to designate the 7th chakra. It can be translated as 1,000 petals. Okay, the color of the crown chakra. The crown chakra is most commonly represented with the white color, although it can also be depicted as a deep purple. What a lot of you may or may not know is that white sometimes, it depends, or could also be perceived as a deep purple. But in essence, the crown chakra, is depicted, all right, by white, okay, or it represents, or is commonly represented with the color white, okay, and that's why white has always been a symbol of purity, a symbol of enlightenment, awakening in its highest form. All right, so when you hear, so-called Caucasians, calling themselves white, yes, within this realm, white is a political status. All right, but within the astral or the etheric or the mental or the spiritual realm, white is also a status, and it's a status of purity, enlightenment, elevation. Okay, awareness on the highest level. Okay, so as people in general, we could all claim that. All right, we could all claim that. All right. The auric color of crown chakra energy can also be seen as gold, white, or clear light. Okay? Hence, they are talking about, and we're not going to get into that because I've done videos on the coronavirus. So that's what corona truly means, all right? The gold, okay? The crown, okay? So seeing that the world is stepping into more of an enlightened mindset, all right, that's what's happening right now all over the world. Okay, the corona effect, the gold, you dig? So that's pretty much what this is all about, but we're not going to talk about the corona right now. I just wanted to mention that. But let's talk about the gold. Okay, the gold mind. All right, we were all born with a crown. Okay, so that means you were born to be royal. You were born loyalty. Okay, you were definitely born royalty. Okay, but how were we dethroned? We were dethroned through brainwashing, okay, misinformation, legion, which is what people call religion. All those tools were used to dethrone us from our throne, okay? Now, when we speak of gold, we also, what comes to mind is a gold mind, right? And we all have a mind, but what people are not aware of is that their mind is actually a gold mind. Okay, that's where all your jewels are, in your mind. Now, just imagine if you had a gold mine, okay, somewhere in your backyard, or a diamond mine. At what extent would you go to protect your gold mine or your diamond mine, right? You would probably have an army, right? You would have a legion to protect your gold mine or your diamond mine. But yet still, you have a mind that's filled with jewels, and you don't protect it because you're not aware of how priceless it is. That's why your mind is the most priceless. Okay, the most priceless thing you ever own is your mind, because that's where your gold is. You feel me? So that's why it's important to protect your gold mine, which is your mind, your crown chakra, okay? Now, the crown chakra symbols, the symbol of the crown chakra is composed, all right, a circle or 1,000 petals. The dominating color of the crown chakra symbol is white, okay? Its petals are multicolored, like a rainbow. The circle sometimes compared to the symbol of the full moon. And I could attest to that personally, in terms of the color of the crown chakra being white, because I have done, meditation exercises, and I have literally experienced that sense of, that euphoric or that auric, sense of feeling. I have felt it, and I have seen, that mist, that white mist, so to speak. And that's how I knew I tapped into, my crown chakra. All right. So I have experienced that in the past. All right. Now, most of us have energetic blocks and imbalances, as well as energy sabotaging habits that prevent us from accessing our full vitality, which leads to us to feel exhausted, scattered, dull, even ill. Those are just symptoms, okay, as evidence that your crown chakra has an imbalance, okay? The good news is that doesn't have to continue. Best-selling author and world-renowned expert on chakras, Anodia Judith, will reveal the secrets to optimizing your energy system during a free vital event hosted by the Shift Network. And that's an event that they're having. Maybe it's past, I'm not sure, but I'm going to put that link below and you could do more research for yourself. Okay, now, where is the crown chakra located? The crown chakra location. The most commonly accepted location for the seventh chakra is at the top of the head, or slightly above the head, like a halo, so to speak, right? It sits like a crown, radiating upwards, hence its name, okay? The crown chakra is primarily associated to the pituitary gland, and secondarily to the pineal, and the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus and pituitary gland work in pair together to regulate the endocrine system. Because of its location, the crown chakra is closely associated with the brain and the whole nervous system. Note that energetically, the seventh chakra has a connection with the first chakra. And of course, the first chakra, if you didn't know, is the root chakra. and it's located right below your navel, okay, which is the second chakra. But the root chakra and the color, it's represented by red, as they both are the extremities of the chakra system, okay? And like I said, I have definitely been in meditative states where I have literally, you know, opened up my crown chakra and experienced that mist of white light, so to speak, or white, you know, that foggy, feeling. It's like, it was kind of like if you're going through a mountain, right? And there's fog, there's fog. That's what it looks like once you have gotten to that state, all right? So, and also there are times where, let me see how I could kind of describe it. It's like looking at not a fluorescent bulb, but it's a bulb with, with little squares in them. You know what I mean? And it has this glare, but I really can't explain it. But it's something that you would have to experience yourself. Okay? Now, behavioral characteristics of the crown chakra. The crown chakra is associated with the following psychological and behavioral characteristics: consciousness, okay? Awareness of higher consciousness, wisdom of what is sacred. All right, now the crown chakra is associated, let me read that again. The crown chakra is associated with the following psychological and behavioral characteristics: consciousness, whether it may be subconsciousness or consciousness, it all deals, okay, or those are characteristics, all right, of the crown chakra. All right, awareness of higher consciousness, wisdom of what is sacred. Okay, intelligence and wisdom are things that we are born with. Okay, education is what you are taught. So education is not wisdom. Education is not intelligence. All right, education is something physical. Education is something tangible. All right, wisdom and intelligence, they are intangible. That means that you have to be born with it, and we are all born with those characteristics. However, all right, when we are born, we have all these outside suggestions from different people. First, it started with our parents, with all the different ideologies that they were taught, the brainwashing systems that they were taught. They implemented that on us, all right, which kind of like hindered, our spiritual growth, our spiritual awareness, because we were taught from systems that man created, once again, to prevent us, to keep us imprisoned, so to speak, all right? So a lot of times you see people lacking wisdom, but yet still they call themselves educated. All right. But anyway, awareness of a higher consciousness, wisdom, and what is sacred. Okay. Connection with the formless, the limitless. Once you are in your physical being, or you are totally dwelling as the physical man or the physical woman, and you kind of like ignore that there is an I am, a higher self, a higher you, then you strictly focus on the physical world, the world that's of form, the world that's of matter, okay? All you could see, you see shapes, forms, symbols. That's all you could see, all right? And then because your mind, okay, you haven't accessed such a realm, so to speak, then you have all these limitations, okay? You see limitations, you always see obstacles, you always see stumbling blocks. That is because there's an imbalance in your crown chakra. You cannot see past anything except for limitations, all right? But when your crown chakra is opened up, you are opened up to a world that's formless, all right? You get into a state of limitless, so to speak. I'm not sure if you guys saw that movie, Limitless. It's something where he had to take an enhancer, all right, to take him to that state. And by no means I'm suggesting that you do that. I'm just letting you know when your crown chakra is, you tap into that, all right? That's the feeling that you get. You feel like, you know, like Superman with no kryptonite. You know what I mean? Now, realization, all right, if your crown chakra is there's an imbalance, or your crown chakra is blocked, then your sense of realization is impaired, okay? You become disillusional, okay? Liberation from limiting patterns, because once again, everything in the universe is within shapes and patterns and symbols, all right? But when your crown chakra, there's an imbalance, or your crown chakra is blocked, all right? Those patterns that you see, what it does, it imprisons you, okay? It makes you a prisoner of your own mind. But once your crown chakra is open, you feel a sense of liberation, all right, from limiting patterns, okay? Communion is a form of communication with higher states of consciousness. And that's why I always speak about my ancestors and those who came before me, all right? Because there's that spiritual umbilical cord. The same way that there was an umbilical cord in the physical realm when you were birthed from your mother, and that umbilical cord had to be cut, all right? It wasn't just a physical cutting. It was also a spiritual disconnection. It was your declaration of coming from that spiritual realm, becoming part from the all, the universal all, where you are now an individual. Okay, you have been divided, divided from the all, and that's why that umbilical cord had to be cut. Okay, so communion with the highest states of consciousness, with ecstasy and bliss. That's why they used to get these pills, you know, people used to take in clubs. It gave them this euphoric feeling, you know, this auric feeling, all right? It took them to a different place. But you could experience those things without those artificial, all right, or pharmaceutical, you know, drugs or enhancements, all right? They actually had natural herbs, you know, that assisted with those things. Ayahuasca, they had some, they call it was a mushroom called the bullfrog. So many different ones, all right, that was part of the culture, okay, that they now made illegal, all right? And presence, okay, presence, you know, once your crown chakra is not blocked, okay, or there's no imbalance in your crown chakra, then you tend to live in the present, all right? When your crown chakra is blocked or there's an imbalance, you know, you tend not to see your reality. That's why I will go back to where it says realization, okay? Your whole concept of realization is impaired, and therefore it affects you dealing in the presence, okay? It affects that. And I tell folks, well, you don't have to wait until Christmas to give a present or to get a present. Every day we are in the present, so therefore when your crown chakra is not blocked or there's no imbalances, then you tend to find bliss in every moment, all right? And that's the characteristics of, you know, the crown chakra is the presence, the present, that gift, okay? The crown chakra is associated with the transcendence of our limitations, whether they are personal or bound to space and time. It is where the paradox becomes the norm, where seemingly opposites are one. So what does that mean? It means that, of course, we know so is above, so is below, left, right, okay, up, down, good, bad, male, female, all right? All those are just manifestations or characteristics of the physical world, duality, okay? Within that realm, there is only oneness. There is no such thing as male or female. There's no such thing as left or right. There's no such thing as up or down, because those two the opposites have to be married, okay? That's called the perfect union, okay? Those two opposites come together and they're equally yoked. So when you hear people running around talking about, oh, well, you know, the female is this and the female is that, I don't pay attention to these people, okay? The universal source is not a man or a woman. The universal source is not male or female. There is a marriage of the male and the female, the left and the right, the up and the down, okay? The in and the out. It's a marriage. That's what creates balance. And anybody who's out there trying to teach you that, something is wrong with them, okay? They themselves, their crown chakra is imbalanced, all right? And that's facts, because within that realm, okay, those opposites are actually one, all right? They are actually one. The quality of awareness that comes with the crown chakra is universal, transcendent, okay? As we are immersed in the energy of the crown chakra, we feel a state of blissful union with all that is of the spiritual ecstasy. Once again, it's about that marriage. It's about that union, okay? One doesn't supersede the next. It's only within this realm, this physical realm, people get into which one is more important and which one is, and this one is this. Man, listen, all that stuff right there, I don't fit into that, okay? I don't really fit into that. And that's people who think they know what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about, all right? Once you are truly balanced, okay, one energy doesn't supersede the next. That's when you are truly balanced, okay? And within that realm, once again, there is that spiritual feeling of that sense of spiritual ecstasy. You feel that union, you feel the totality, all right? You feel the oneness, all right? This chakra allows access to the utmost clarity and enlightened wisdom. Some describe this chakra as the gateway to the cosmic self or the divine self, to universal consciousness. It's linked to the infinite, the universal realm. Now, I'm going to read this paragraph again and kind of like expound on that a little bit, okay? Right here. Some describe this chakra as the gateway to the cosmic self or the divine self. Now, let us talk about that word divine here for a second. For me, I mean, if we want to play the semantics, that's fine. But for me, it's important that I use certain words and I refrain from using certain words, because we know, of course, words are spells, right? So that word divine in itself, I'm going to just pretty much, which I've spoken about in videos, but I'm kind of like going to go over that again, right? When you take a grape tree, okay, or a grapevine, for instance, grapes are actually on a tree that's connected with vine, right? With vines. When you take the grape and you pluck it away from, or you disconnect it from the vine, that's a process called divine. You are divining the grape. So why would you want to be divine from the source? We have already been divined. That's why we came here as what? Individuals, all right? Individuals. If you look at that word, indi, okay? Visuals, divided from the all. So at some point, we all divided from the all to come to have an experience, all right? Each individual came to have that experience. So we should no longer deal with the divine. Right now, we need to be vine. In other words, we need to reconnect back to the all. Okay? So that's why for me, I tend to deal with the vine. I always ask and put out there in the universe that I am vine, okay, opposed to divine. All right? Because I'm seeking to be reconnected to the universal all, which is to vine and not be divine. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. Okay, 2, the universal consciousness. It's linked to infinite and the universal, which is, of course, the universal realm. Okay, the universal or the infinite, that realm is the totality. Each and every one of us coming together. I'm talking about every individual coming together in total That's what we call the universal source. That is what we call the universal intelligence. Okay, that would be God or the Great Spirit in its fullness. Okay, and it's only when all the individuals come back together as one, that's when we will truly experience what or who the Great Spirit is, or what God is, so to speak, if we want to use that term God. And I'm using that very lightly here. Okay? So it's about the totality and not the individuality. We have had our run with being individuals, okay? Because we got divided from the all. You did. So now it's time to reconnect. Now it's time to vine, okay? Now, the crown chakra imbalance. When the crown chakra has an imbalance, it can manifest as being disconnected to the spirit, constant cynicism regarding what is sacred. Now, you see, those are characteristics of when your crown chakra has an imbalance or it's blocked, okay? Being disconnected to the spirit. And a lot of people are actually disconnected disconnected to the spirit or from the spirit, but they think they are connected. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people, especially people that are part of a legion, and I've done videos before and I've explained that in detail, but I'm gonna go over that a little bit again because, redundancy is important, because that's how you get brainwashed, right? They give you information and they keep repeating it until it sinks into your subconscious, and then it becomes the foremost, reality in your conscious mind. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of reiterate on that a little bit and kind of like touch that again. All right, so let's talk about being disconnected to the spirit or from the spirit. And a lot of people that are in legions, which is actually what they call religion, they don't realize that they truly disconnected from the spirit. They think they are, but they are not. All right. And I have shown you guys this before, but I'm going to show it again. Let us go look at the etymology of the word legion. Okay. Legion is an army. Okay. Legion is an army. That's what a legion is. Okay. A legion. A Roman legion, and the etymology of the word is the root of the word. Okay. A Roman legion, a squad, a band, a company, a Roman legion. Roman legion, a body of what? Soldiers, a levy of troops. All right? So whenever you are part of a legion and you think it's actually religion, what religion is? Religion is a reinstitution or a resurgence of a legion, an army. So Christianity is an army. Islam is an army. Judaism is an army. And what these armies have done is they have traveled around the world to all the indigenous communities, and they impeded on their religious beliefs and practices, their religious way, their spiritual way of life. Okay? Because they didn't practice legion. They had communities, they had villages, they had families. Okay, and families, okay, were again destroyed through legions, and a legion is an army. So when you speak of religion, take the prefix re. Anytime you take the prefix re, R-E, and you put that in front of any word, it means that it was done before. And I've given you guys this example, but once again, I'm just kind of going over to refresh your memory. If I wrote a book and I ask you to rewrite the book, okay, there's no way you could rewrite my book without me writing the book. So that means it's to do over. Okay, if I drove my car forward and I ask you to reverse the car, in order for the car to be reversed, it had to be driven forward. So the point I'm making is, anytime you put the prefix re in front of a word, it means that it was done before. Just like in Genesis chapter 1, when the God in the Bible said, be fruitful and multiply and what? Replenish the earth. It means that the earth was already replenished, meaning that it had people before. You feel me? So that was another creation. Most likely the creation that was already there, they became extinct, or they did something that wasn't pleasing in the sight of the universal source, okay? And there had to be a new creation. So we had to come and do what? Replenish. In other words, do it over again. So no one truly knows how old humans are. We have been replenishing this earth for millions, if not trillions of years. Okay? So what you call religion today is nothing but an army. All right? So you are a prisoner of war. All right? So if you are a Christian, you are a prisoner of war of the Christian legion, the Christian army. If you practice Islam, okay, you are a prisoner of war of that Islamic army. Okay? If you are practicing Judaism, then you are a prisoner of war. Okay? You are a subject of that army. If you don't believe me, go do your own research. Each of them were armies, and they went around the world and enforced, all right, their beliefs, okay, or their statutes, or their commandments on indigenous people around the world. So I just wanted to make that clear. Again, no offense to anybody, all right, who is a Christian, who practices Judaism or Islam. I'm just here giving you the facts. All right, and I know sometimes the facts could be hurtful, and for a lot of people, even if you hear the truth, you still wouldn't, it's not going to resonate with you. That's called cognitive dissonance, all right? It doesn't matter what you hear and how truthful it is because you are so brainwashed, you will not see anything else. And that is what truly religion is. It's a reinstitution of an army, okay? So I just have to point that out. So let's proceed. So you are literally being disconnected from your higher self, and that's what the legions do. All right, so they have reinstituted their armies, and you are nothing. And literally, you are paying for that. You are the one paying 10% from your check every single month to be a prisoner of an army, and that's crazy, man. You're paying for your own enslavement. All right. Now, constant criticism, cynicism regarding what is sacred. Okay, that's why in legion or religion, they tell you that all these things are pagan. Whatever indigenous people looked at or looked upon as sacred, what they will tell you, oh, it's pagan, right? That is because their chakra, their crown chakra is blocked. Okay, there's an imbalance in their crown chakra, so they have no regards, okay, to what is sacred. That's why they could go around and cut down all the trees and just kill animals. All right. Once again, you could look at the people that's doing those things, and that alone will speak for itself. Let's go to the second bullet. On the opposite side, an overactive crown chakra could manifest as a disconnection with the body. All right. I know a lot of people, even me, all right, talk about stepping into a higher realm of consciousness, or being on a higher frequency, all right? That also could be detrimental, all right? Because the spiritual man, okay, or the I am, the spiritual man or the spiritual woman, we came here to have a physical experience, all right? And the significance of the I am in the spiritual realm is equivalent to the spiritual of the physical man in the physical realm. Okay, so if you ignore, so you see, you have to find the balance. The same way that people are dwelling solely in their physical manifestation and they ignore the spiritual man or woman, that creates an imbalance. It's the same way that the spiritual cannot ignore the physical. You feel me? So an overactive crown chakra could definitely manifest as a disconnection with the body. That's why I tell you, the only time that the I am in you is going to experience this life through that vessel that you have is only one time. You only have one shot at life, or, you know, or how would I put it? Or this experience, okay? You only have one shot to experience this life in this body that you have one time. Your higher self or your I am will never be in that body again. And that's why I always stress, take care of that body. It's your temple, okay? That's why I say the body is the temple of what? The God, you. So you don't drink your body away. Don't smoke your body away. Stop putting all these GMO foods and all these toxins in your temple, family. I don't care whether it's wine. I don't care what it is. Okay? Stop disrespecting. That means your crown chakra is blocked. There is an imbalance. You have no regard for what's sacred. Your body is sacred. It's a temple. You feel me? So I just wanted to point that out. Okay? Living in your head, being disconnected from your body and earthly matters. Okay? Because remember, that's where your mind, right? Your mind, your head. Your head encompasses your brain. Okay? And of course, your brain, your mind, all that stuff is within your head, so to speak. And a lot of times people live in their head and they totally are disconnected from their body or the earthly matters. And people do that to escape, you know, the realities of this realm. You feel me? And that's cool sometimes, but that cannot be a constant, because that now is an imbalance. Okay? That's an imbalance. You are trying to escape reality. That could be detrimental as well. Okay? The next bullet point. Obsessive attachment to spiritual matters. Okay? Even in this day and age, we hear everybody talking about, oh, well, you know, the age of Aquarius and the enlightened age and all this stuff, but yet still people get obsessive, okay, with spiritual matters. And again, ignoring the physical. Family, be very mindful that the higher self, the I am, the spiritual man or woman, came here to have a physical experience, okay, in its bountifulness, all right, in its fullness of bliss and joy. So experience the physical self to its fullest. That's what the higher self came here to experience. You feel me? So then don't get too obsessed with just the physical, just with the spiritual and ignore the physical. The same way you get obsessed with the physical and ignore the spiritual. All right? You will only find that moment of bliss and experience what we call heaven when those two come together and you experience that marriage and they all have a respect for each other. Okay? That's when you experience the all. You feel me? Also, closed-mindedness. Okay? That's also a characteristic of a blocked or imbalanced chakra. And a lot of people that are caught up in religion, they have closed minds because that's what they were taught. They were put in a box and they were brainwashed. When I say a box, I'm talking about a physical building that they call church. Okay? And they were brainwashed. That's why they are called sheep. And sheep is always looking for a shepherd. And who is the shepherd? The shepherd is either the pastor or this illusion of a savior that they gave them. These people are closed-minded, not knowing once again that they are prisoners of war in a legion, an army. Okay? And it's called religion. Okay? So we talked about what the crown chakra is. We talked about the characteristics of the crown chakra, and we talked about the crown chakra as an imbalance. What we're going to get into now is chakra healing. It's one thing to talk about what the problems are, but then how do we remedy the problem, so to speak. So we're going to talk about chakra healing here for a second. Okay? While this thing is loading up, this presentation is brought to you by Original Tribal Wear. Please go check out the website. The website is www.originaltribalwear.com. men, women, and children's, clothing, apparel. All right. So please go support. We have to get into the habit of supporting our own by all means. Okay. And don't get me wrong. Yes, I'm an advocate for supporting others, but we have done that all our lives, and we tend to forget about ourselves. So I think it's time for us to pick us up and learn to support our own first. Okay. Also, it's brought to you by Simply Stoned. Like I said, I'll reach out to my sister Yasini to check up on the website to let her know that it's said that the site says it's been expired, so she could update that and take care of that. But you have your stones, your jewelry, and all that's, it's so befitting, because when we're speaking about the chakras, then there are stones as well, that could help, with, chakra aligning and all that. All right. That's something I also do. I know how to check to see if people's chakras are, imbalanced or blocked, and also help in chakra healing. You know what I mean? So, yes, Chief Kalinago got a little bit of skills, and I'm thankful for that. All right. Crown chakra healing. All right. And the author is Lizzie. The 7 chakras are the points that energy flows through in the body. And for those of you who don't know, I have done videos on the 7 chakras, but I will put that link in there so you can go ahead and do your own research. But I'll definitely go over all 7 chakras again, and we'll get into stones, we'll get into meditation, and we'll get into all that. Right now, we just focus on the crown chakra, right? So when open and balanced, energy moves freely through them, and spiritual and physical healing can occur. However, when the chakras become blocked, it can cause mental and physical dis-ease. A blockage in the crown chakra can lead to spiritual malice and other problems. Okay, understanding the crown chakra. The crown chakra, known as the Sahasrara in Sanskrit, is the 7th major chakra. It is located on the crown of the head, and is associated with spirituality. The Sahasrara chakra is violet or white, and is represented by a lotus flower with 1,000 petals. This chakra is what allows people to move beyond the individual materialistic needs to connect with the universal whole. Okay, so like I told y'all before, all right, that's why I don't, when I do my affirmations, I don't speak of the divine, I speak of vine. All right, I'm vining back to the source. I am vining back to the universal whole. All right, because as individuals, you were divine. You were disconnected, you were divine. And it's fine, because we all came here to have that individual experience. All right, but that era, that time, that age is running out. Okay, we have had moments of bliss as individuals, and now as individuals, people have gotten so far beyond what it was truly meant to be, to experience life and take that experience and bring it back to the whole. We kind of like took it and ran with it, whereas individuals, we became toxic to the whole. All right? So now the whole wants to put itself back together. In other words, if we're going to we're going to call that universal whole God or the Great Spirit. Now, God or the Great Spirit need to bring itself back together. Okay? So I'm going to say something that you guys might say, oh, Chief, you bugging. No, I'm not bugging. Right now, God is trying to find itself by bringing the individuals back together so that it could be whole once more. Okay? So that's why it's important, again, to kind of like don't dwell too much on the individuality, and we have to come back as a unit. In other words, God, the Great Spirit, has to be alive again. Okay? And I'm not saying that it's dead. I'm just saying that it's literally still divided. Okay? We divided ourselves as a whole. Okay? We are the Great Spirit in totality. We are God in totality. We are the universal source in totality, meaning that the all. But we decided to branch ourselves off as individuals to have individual experiences. And that worked for a while, but it's no longer working. All right, so we have to come back together as a whole so we can experience that universal bliss. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, opening up the crown chakra brings spiritual insight, mindfulness, and the ability to live with a quiet self-confidence in all aspects of life. Symptoms of Sahasrara imbalance, which we kind of went over before, but we'll go over them again. A deficiency in the crown chakra tends to cause subtle systemic problems. These include depression and mental fog, okay, chronic fatigue, migraines and other chronic headaches, greed and materialism. Okay, let's talk about depression and mental fog, all right? When your crown chakra is blocked, all right, and you're only dwelling in the physical realm. Remember, the physical man and woman is flawed, all right? So that could create depression because now we are focusing only on the physical man or woman. And as the physical man or woman, it comes with problems because this is a perfect, it's an imperfect, perfect world, so to speak, all right? It's perfect, but it was meant to be imperfect, perfect. I hope that makes sense, all right? Because there's no mistakes. You did. But with that world, it brings depression based on the certain experiences that you have, all right? Mental fog, it's like where there's no mental clarity. You feel what I'm saying? Your vision, and when I'm not talking about your sight. I'm not talking about your outsight. I'm talking about your insight. Your vision is clouded. It's fogged. Okay? Chronic fatigue. All right? When you're always feeling, not necessarily physically tired, but you feel like something spiritual is always weighing on you. Like you feel like your entire existence is always tired. Okay? Migraines and other chronic headaches. Greed. Okay? When your crown chakra is blocked, that people tend to be greedy. All right, because you only focus on just you. And then you tend to step into that world of materialism. Okay? It's all about you. It's all about me. You did. Now, an excess of energy in the crown chakra can also cause problems, including, so like I said before, we have to find the balance. Okay? Sensitivity to light and sound. Because when you're only focusing on the spiritual realm, that crown chakra, that's all you're focusing on, and you tend to forget your physical existence, all right? Those are some of the things that happen. Sensitivity to light and sound, neurological or endocrine disorders, boredom and frustration, okay? Those are symptoms that your crown chakra is blocked, okay? A sense of elitism or unearned accomplishment, okay? You're always feeling that you're a failure. No matter what you do, it's never enough, all right? Those are symptoms of that. An unbalanced crown chakra can also play a role in learning disabilities, comas, sleep disorders, and mental illness. That's why a lot of people, all right, have sleep disorders, mental illnesses, learning disabilities, all right? And no, I'm not talking about retardation, okay? I'm not talking about that. Some people just have a natural capability of learning. They have a natural learning disabilities because their crown chakra is blocked, all right? And a lot of people are in comas, and yes, it could be a coma due to an accident, but a coma also, somebody could be in a coma by being brainwashed, all right? So a lot of people are still in comas, all right? And of course, we know mental illness as well is something that's paramount amongst a lot of people, all right? All right, so I think we already read that, but I know, give me a second here. We talking about the chakra healing here. Okay, here we go. Because I thought I did that already, right? Okay, here we go. Now, chakra healing. Okay? Chakra healing can be defined as a process aiming at influencing how energy moves through the chakras of the human body. It is often referred to as chakra balancing because its goal is to restore the optimal balance between the energy centers. Okay, it's all about balance. It's all about balance. All right. What is chakra healing? When the chakra system functions properly, it is characterized by several properties: balance, overall equilibrium, okay, distinction between the different quality of energies or frequencies associated with each chakra, appropriate intensity or level of energy of each chakra, appropriate direction, clockwise or counterclockwise, appropriate polarity, inward, outward, flow or reception and expression. It's important to note that a chakra does not function on its own. It is part of a dynamic, interrelated series of energy centers forming an entire system. Understanding what chakra healing means involves not only knowing how each individual chakra functions, but also how they interact with each other. There are many energy healing modalities, some rooted in ancient wisdom and practices, some more recent. In today's alternative medicine, we find Reiki therapy as a common healing practice. All right, so we kind of went through that, but they showed that Reiki therapy is a good way of, helping to heal the chakras, right? But let's look at let's go back over what chakra healing is, right? When the chakra system functions properly, it is characterized by several properties: balance and overall equilibrium. So how do we achieve those things? Balance, okay? We know what the scale looks like, right? If we have a scale and we put 5 pounds on one side of the scale and we take 3 pounds on the other side of the scale, there wouldn't be no balance, all right? There wouldn't be no type of equilibrium. You did, because one side outweighs the next. So it's the same thing when it comes to your chakras. All right, that's how you kind of like want to put them on a scale, all right? And make sure that they all have the same equal weight. Now, all that stuff is all mental, all right? Finding that place or that place in your mind where you are not too focused on just physical things, but at the same time, you're not overwhelmed with the spiritual things. You want to find that balance, all right? That equilibrium in your life, okay? Even with your friends, the things that you eat, you feel me? You want to find that balance, okay? Distinction between the different qualities of energies or frequencies associated with each chakra. Now, that's some more in-depth research that you could do, and we'll go over the 7 chakras, which, I'll, talk about the root chakra, the sacral chakra, which is the navel chakra, and then you have the solar plex, then you have the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye, and the crown chakra. So another time we'll get into that, which I've done before, right? But you definitely want to find out the distinction and know what each one represents, so you will know how to start finding that balance, okay? You will know how to start finding that balance. You did. So those are some of the characteristics in terms. You have to know the characteristics of those chakras in order to literally heal those chakras and find that balance with those chakras. So you definitely have to find the frequencies or the energies that's associated with each chakra, all right? Now, appropriate intensity or level of energy of each chakra. You have to know the intensity. In other words, how powerful the energy of that chakra is. So you are able to do your meditation and again find that place of equilibrium, okay? Appropriate direction, all right? Clockwise or counterclockwise, what does that mean? All right, positive energy goes in a anti-clockwise direction, and negative energy goes into a clockwise direction. So when I do a lot of chakra, I test people's chakras to see if it's black or if there's an imbalance That's how I'm able to know, okay, if someone has a blocked chakra and if they need some chakra healing, all right? It depends on the direction that energy goes. So once again, positive energy goes anti-clockwise, okay? And then negative energy goes clockwise, all right? That's why they have on the clock is going clockwise, because we're literally living in a world that's negative, all right? But when it's going in the opposite direction, that's positive energy, okay? So that's, again, that's some of the tools that I use to check people's chakras to see if it's blocked or imbalanced and see if they need chakra healing, all right? So that's what they're talking about here with appropriate direction of clockwise or counterclockwise, okay? Appropriate polarity, inward and outward flow, or reception and expression, all right? Remember, there's polarity, right? And each chakra it gravitates to, you know, different polarities. I guess it depends on, you know, that mindset that you have, all right? So, you know, polarities deal with inward, outward, you know, flow, or you deal receptive or expressive, you deal with left or right, up or down. That's what they're pretty much talking about here, okay? So all those things you have to be familiar with in regards to knowing how to find balance with your own chakras, right? It's important to note that a chakra does not function on its own, okay? It is part of a dynamic, interrelated series of energy centers forming an entire system, okay? So each chakra, even if you find out, you know, the capabilities, all right, or everything about the energies of each chakra, you still have to find out how to connect it with the whole, all right, that entire system. That's how you find that balance, right? Understanding what chakra healing means involves not only knowing how each individual chakra functions, but also how they interact with each other, all right? You see what I'm saying? It's all about the vine, connecting them again so that they could become the whole, all right? So that's pretty much what that is. Like I said, another time I will go into the 7 chakras, the chakra test, then I'll go into stones and meditation. But I'll put that link there below and you guys can do your own research, but I'll also go over that in another video. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this information. Please share the information. By all means, do your own research, do your own due diligence. I'm just bringing information that could help you in this time that we're in right now. It's important to get into yourself and really find that true balance, teach it to your family, and work together as a collective. All right, that's what it's all about. Okay, bringing the whole back together. All right, find that connection. Stop being divine. Stop being individuals. Being a meaning that divided from the all. Okay, stop being prisoners of legions, which is religion is a legion that is reinstituted. All right, and it's an army. All right, to literally keep you a prisoner. All right, and not allow you to be spiritually free, so to speak. Okay, so religion comes with, you know, all these ideologies that they give you. All right, it has nothing to do with you taking yourself, okay, to this place of, you know, this euphoric space, okay, this place of bliss. That's not what it's about, okay? So I just wanted to point that out to you guys. Thank you. And once again, like I said, you know, please go check out, you know, originaltribalwear.com and Simply Stoned. Okay, for those of you who found this information valuable and you want to give back, by all means, my Cash App is in the link. You know, feel free to support, all right? Have a great continuation. This is your brother, Chief Kalinago, with another uplifting, enlightening video. Peace, love, harmony, and light.